Good morning, and welcome to your AIDailyPress morning podcast for March 19, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, in Latin America, Costa Rica has announced the closure of its embassy in Cuba and ordered Cuban diplomats to leave the country, citing concerns over human rights and repression. This move follows a similar decision by Ecuador earlier this month and comes amidst rising tensions between Cuba and the United States. In other news, the ongoing U.S.-Israel war on Iran has exposed deep divisions within the BRICS bloc, with member states finding themselves on opposing sides of the conflict. India, the current chair of BRICS, is walking a tightrope, attempting to balance its relationships with other member states while navigating international diplomacy. Lastly, we're also following developments in the U.S.-Israel conflict with Iran, which has significant implications for global governance and diplomacy. The situation continues to unfold, and we'll provide updates and analysis as more information becomes available, and that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and Nanshal and know it's right now. We're covering several developing stories today, including the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, which has led to a significant escalation in global energy prices. Oil has surged to $120 a barrel, and gasoline prices in the U.S. have reached a record high of $3.50 per gallon. The crisis began with a U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran on February 10 and has disrupted supply chains, leading to a sharp increase in crude oil prices. In related news, Iran has threatened to retaliate against oil and gas infrastructure in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, further exacerbating concerns about global energy security. The White House has responded by issuing a 30-day waiver of the Jones Act, but experts say this measure is unlikely to have a significant impact on reducing gas prices. We're also following a developing story in the Mediterranean, where an unmanned Russian tanker, the Arctic Metagaz, is drifting and posing a significant environmental threat. The vessel was damaged in a suspected sea drone attack near Maltese waters earlier this month and is carrying liquefied natural gas and other fuels. 5 European nations have banded together to seek an urgent solution to prevent an environmental catastrophe. Additionally, we've been reporting on the conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East, which are complex and multifaceted, requiring a nuanced understanding of the various parties involved and their motivations. The international community is urging a peaceful resolution, while also providing support to Ukraine in its efforts to defend itself against Russian aggression. We'll continue to provide ongoing coverage and analysis of these stories, striving to maintain a fair and balanced perspective. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm Louis, and today we're discussing the recent developments in the financial world. Firstly, the Fed is facing pressure from the White House and the DOJ, which has raised concerns about its autonomy. Chairman Powell's decision to stay on as pro tem chair until a new chair is confirmed is a clear indication that he intends to maintain the Fed's independence. Moving on to HDFC Bank, we've seen two significant developments. Initially, the bank's chairman, Atanu Chakraborty, stepped down due to a conflict of values and ethics. However, this was not due to any wrongdoing on his part, but rather a disagreement with certain practices within the bank. The appointment of Keki Mistry as interim chairman is expected to provide stability during this transition period. More recently, we've seen allegations of improper lending practices, which led to the resignation of Chairman Shyam Srinivasan. While this news has caused market volatility, it's essential to separate fact from fiction and avoid making rash decisions based on market hysteria. As the first always say, a correction is when you lose money, but a bear market is when I lose money. In conclusion, these developments serve as a reminder that even the most stable institutions can face challenges. However, by maintaining a level head, focusing on fundamental analysis, and adopting a long-term perspective, investors can navigate turbulent markets. So, take a deep breath, grab a cup of your favorite brew, and remember, the market is a marathon, not a sprint. And as I always say, don't panic. The storm will pass, and the sun will shine bright once again. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and above all, stay calm. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. First up, we have an update on a fascinating comet discovery, Comet. The 100th of 2019 K1, or K1 for short, was found breaking apart into at least 4 pieces, each with its own fuzzy envelope of gas and dust. This event has given scientists a unique glimpse into the composition and physics of comets, which are essentially time capsules from the early days of our solar system. Next, we're heading to Mars, where NASA's Perseverance rover has made a remarkable find, fluorescent ruby-like gems on the Martian surface. These tiny grains of corundum are not only beautiful but also provide valuable insights into the geological history of Mars. Scientists believe they were formed when meteorites smashed into the Martian surface, creating intense heat and compression. Finally, we're looking at a story that's out of this world, literally. A company called TransAstra has announced plans to mine asteroids for precious resources like water and metals. This ambitious project could potentially pave the way for human settlements on other planets and even help address Earth's resource shortages. Thanks for tuning in to the AIDailyPress Morning Podcast. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, our attention turns to the Seattle Seahawks' hypothetical redraft of Trey Smith, a talented guard from the Kansas City Chiefs. In this intriguing scenario, the Seahawks opt to fortify their offensive line with Smith at number. Overall, a move that could have potentially altered the trajectory of their franchise. We delve into the what-ifs of this decision and explore how it might have impacted the team's chances of success. Next, we examine the bold move by Fox Sports to bring on board one of football's most recognizable personalities, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, as a commentator for the upcoming World Cup. This partnership promises to be a win-win for both parties, with Fox Sports tapping into Zlatan's charisma and bankability, while he gets to share his expertise with a global audience. Lastly, we take a closer look at the NFL draft and how teams continually seek to refine and improve their rosters. The art of rebuilding and reimagining team lineups is a constant endeavor in professional football, where strategic planning and talent acquisition are key to achieving greatness. These stories showcase the complex decision-making processes that shape the destinies of franchises in the NFL. As we navigate the intricate landscape of professional sports, it becomes increasingly clear that the drama of athletic competition extends far beyond the playing field. Join me on this journey into the heart of professional football, where the pursuit of excellence is a constant and the stakes are always high. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. First, we looked at the story of a community coming together in support of a local family who has been impacted by tragedy. The arrest of Kristen Ramsey in connection with the death of real estate agent Ashley Oakland has brought a sense of relief to the community, but it also opens up a complex narrative of investigation and the pursuit of justice. Next, we explored the trend of LGBTQ+ employees feeling less comfortable sharing their sexual orientation or gender identity at work. This shift is attributed to the rise in anti-LGBTQ+ rhetoric and the rollback of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives in many organizations. We discussed the importance of creating inclusive and supportive workplaces where employees feel empowered to be their authentic selves. Lastly, we visited a story that showcases the human spirit's capacity for resilience and community support. The story of a local organization providing aid to those in need highlights the importance of coming together to make a positive impact on our world. These stories remind us that behind every headline, there are human experiences that deserve respect, compassion, and understanding. We'll continue to follow these stories and bring you more news and updates throughout the day. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I've got a quick rundown of our top stories for you. First up, we've got the latest on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot saga. It's been cancelled, and the reasons behind it are just getting weirder by the minute. Apparently, one executive wasn't a fan of the original series. Can you believe it? We're diving into all the drama and behind-the-scenes tea. Next, we're talking royal fashion with Catherine, Princess of Wales. She's a masterclass in dress diplomacy, folks. Her recent outfit for a state dinner at Windsor Castle was stunning, paying homage to Princess Diana's legacy and the Nigerian flag. And let's not forget Queen Camilla's lovely tribute to her own mother-in-law, Queen Elizabeth. And finally, we've got an update on the wild world of television reboots. It seems like some projects just aren't meant to be, but we're always here to dish out the latest gossip and drama. Stay fabulous, and remember, who are you wearing? Tune in later for more updates, and don't forget to now for the latest in nature and environment. Here is David Atanacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we reported on the triumphant return of rhinos to their ancestral home in Uganda, thanks to tireless conservation efforts. This story serves as a beacon of hope for the long-term survival of these majestic creatures and underscores the importance of recognizing the value of wildlife in maintaining ecosystem balance. In our second story, we delved into a thought-provoking film by a renowned artist that explores the intricacies of guilt, motherhood, and the climate crisis. The film challenges societal norms and encourages viewers to look beyond individual responsibility, instead focusing on broader structural issues driving the climate crisis. Lastly, we featured an artist whose work spans decades, showcasing the beauty and resilience of life on Earth while highlighting the urgent need for sustainable practices and responsible stewardship of our natural resources. This story reminds us that even in adversity, there's hope for a harmonious coexistence between human progress and the well-being of the planet. These stories collectively emphasize the significance of adopting sustainable practices, conserving water, reducing carbon footprint, and getting involved in local initiatives to promote environmental conservation. As we move forward, it's crucial to recognize the natural world's power to inspire, heal, and transform us, and to acknowledge our responsibility to protect it for future generations. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atanacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.